Hey everyone, it's Kyle. Azor Hype. Now, there's only one Game of Thrones episode left, and I'm really sad. But the good news is, the Game of Thrones prequel pilot has started filming with Jane Goldman at the helm and S.J. Clarkson directing the pilot and also serving as executive producer. There has been some very interesting news with all of the castings, and now a new codename for the show. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything that you need to know about the prequels. So it has been speculated that the title of the Game of Thrones prequel was going to be The Long Night, which actually has been discussed by the creator of the Song of Ice and Fire series himself, George R. R. Martin, in recent interviews. However, we have some new news coming out this week that they have a new working code name for the series, and that is the title of Bloodmoon, which has big implications. Now, it's not likely that Bloodmoon will be the title of the series, and they will likely go with The Long Night, which was suggested by George R. R. Martin, but the term Bloodmoon is a term used for a certain solar eclipse and is often connected to religious, spiritual, and what are deemed to be magical events. Blood moons often have been tied to apocalyptic mythology. Take, for example, in the Bible when blood moons are to signify the coming of the end times. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. So if we interpret this correctly, that is not a good day for humans and the world. Now, throughout human history, an eclipse or blood moon has been known to symbolize beginnings, endings, culminations, and clean states, which makes sense in what has been said about the series so far, in that it chronicles the world's descent from the golden age of heroes into its darkest hour. And only one thing is for sure: from the horrifying secrets of Westeros' history, to the true origins of the White Walkers, to the mysteries of the East, to the Starks of legend, it's not the story that we think we know. So we will be exploring different myths and legend during this time of omens, much like we got with the appearance of the Red Comet in Season 2 of A Game of Thrones, which was interpreted differently by all sorts of different factions in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. Now, this is very exciting if we are going to see the beginning of the many different religions, the factions, and ultimately the secrets that are hidden not only within Westerosi history, but the Far East as well. And also at the same time following these archetypal heroes' journeys of new and fascinating POV characters. It's been confirmed that Naomi Watts will be one of the leads of the series and is said to be playing a charismatic socialite hiding a dark secret. Now, it has been speculated that she could possibly play Lan the Clever, who actually turns out to be a woman, or one of the Starks who may be more connected to the White Walkers and that story arc. And the cast is super solid, which makes me excited. We got the recent addition of Miranda Richardson, we have Josh Whitehouse is apparently playing a lead, Toby Regbo, and Jamie Campbell Bower. Now, the Age of Heroes is supposed to take place around 10,000 years ago, but could have been much more recent according to the Maesters, who may have their own secret agenda. And since we didn't get the massive payoff with more information on the Night King, the Children of the Forest, the Three-Eyed Raven, and that plotline in Game of Thrones, it's looking more and more likely that the prequel will be that vehicle that delivers the answers to the more mythological, magical, and cataclysmic sides of A Song of Ice and Fire. Now, hopefully we are going to see the characters like Bran the Builder, that's the one I want to see the most, Lan the Clever, the Grey King, whoever may have been Azor Ahai and Nissa, if they even existed at all, and of course the bigger focus on the Children of the Forest and the Three-Eyed Raven, whose intentions are most definitely less black and white than what we've seen in Game of Thrones. I would love to see a main POV character with the Children of the Forest and also perhaps even the White Walkers. And if Old Nan's story is accurate, we could see the White Walkers come for the realms of men for the first time. And if this is the case, then we need to see the inception of the Wall and Bran the Builder and what he's doing with Winterfell and places like Storm's End as well. And if we are seeing the more heroic feats and the founders within the Age of Heroes, we also need to see that balanced by the darker plot lines of A Song of Ice and Fire and the original Long Night, and perhaps the story of Old Nan coming true right before our eyes in the prequel. But what do you want to see the most? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section, and are you excited with the pick of Jane Goldman at the helm, who has worked on Kick-Ass and X-Men and Kingsman that has great mythology? And what are your theories about what the Game of Thrones prequel, The Long Night or Blood Moon, will focus on? Let me know your thoughts, your theories, and your tinfoil in the comment section. If you want to read up more about prequel news, you can check out the articles that I will link in the description of this video, in the description section. And if you want to see more Game of Thrones videos like this one, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more daily Game of Thrones videos on the channel like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hype and love.